little bit about what the work you were doing for the city when you were working with Mayor Reed. I know you were his policy director, and you were talking about kind of coming up against some of those things that you cared about. Was there things that that you liked about being in city government, or how has the transition been between going from city to now going to state?
With the city, I mean, one of the best things was being able to respond or help with some of people's day-to-day needs and things that are not really political. And as we say, a lot of people who are in City Hall say, residents care about their trash getting picked up, about making sure that the streetlights are working. I mean, things that are just basic concerns that residents anywhere have. So being able to address some of that, I started in February of 2020. So it was just a few weeks before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
So I really got a crash course in emergency management and crisis management and how to respond to a public health emergency. And so a lot of what the mayor wanted to do initially was still able to do some of it, but so much of our time was focused understandably on public health, thinking about it, once the vaccines came out, doing vaccine clinics, making sure they were available and accessible in an equitable way. So I learned a lot about logistics and a lot about, how to organize different governmental offices to get things done. And look, there were challenges with that. There were barriers. There were times that I ran into people who had been in certain positions for a long time and had their very narrow way of looking at it and just trying to get them to think a little bit differently or outside the box. But ultimately, we were able to have a what I think was a good public health response during a really obviously troubling time. And the last thing I'll say on it, that what I did learn a lot, and I guess what was different from the city or state level was that in the city, when you deal with a city council, you have in Montgomery, it's just 9 council members. So we just needed to try to get 5 votes in order to get things passed. At the legislature, the House of Representatives is 105 members. So it takes it's a different kind of effort to try to get something passed at the state level versus the city level. But on any level, school board, city, county, state, federal, counting your votes is takes a lot of work.